friends, what's up? How's it going? I'm so excited to bring you today's video because the book is by a brand new to me author. She is not a brand new author, that is for certain. She has a bunch of books, and I was so excited when I realized that because I thought, if I like her writing, I have so many great books to go back and read. And let me tell you, I loved her writing. The book we're going to talk about today is called Baewatch by Xavier Neal. She reached out to me and asked if I wanted to read one of her books. I was so happy to be able to fit in Baewatch in my reading schedule, and it was the balm that my heart needed after reading the previous book that I had just read. I had no expectations really, and let me tell you, she blew me out of the water. Baewatch is about X and Brooklyn. When I started reading it, I thought, okay, great. It's happy, it's light, it's about the beach, it's about two people that love the beach. I thought she set the scene perfectly for the backdrop of their love story and was excited to get into it. Brooklyn is a lifeguard, but very high up in the beach patrol. She's in her younger 30s. The book starts out and she's gone on a date. Disastrous date, but I really liked her. Good head on her shoulders. I loved her family. I loved how she was one of those people that is one with the water, that she understands the ocean and feels connected to the ocean and the way and everything that the ocean brings to our lives in a very important and soulful way. I love the ocean. It kind of scares me, I'll be honest, because I'm like a wader. I might go up to my hips maybe, but I don't like putting my head in the water, and I don't swim very far. So reading about Brooklyn, really, I was in awe and inspired by her and her job and how she felt about the ocean and the beach. Axe. Everyone needs a man like Axe in their life. He's a little bit older than her. He was so much more than meets the eye, and I loved the way Xavier unfolded their story and gave us more about Axe. Like I said, Brooklyn is on a disastrous date. It just so happens that Axe is sitting on the other side of her date, listening to how wrong it's going, and basically swoops in and saves her. Such funny banter. They end up leaving the bar together, and that's how their story begins. Their personalities matched so well. They were sarcastic, they had so many of the same interests, they could dish it out and take it from each other. I smiled through so much of the book. Their banter was phenomenal, the dialogue was amazing, and I just ate it all up. They're both surprised by how much they like each other, and we get both perspectives. It's dual perspective. There was a sweetness to their story and about how they were discovering each other. They had chemistry. Whew, did they have chemistry? Oh my gosh. Their book played like a movie in my head. And even though, like I said, I'm not really an ocean person, but I love the beach, Brooklyn and Axe couldn't be more different from me in my life. But that's how I know when the book plays in my head like a movie that I am really connecting to the story, and that's what happened with their book. They are both kind of awestruck in how serious they feel about each other as quickly as they feel about each other. In fact, Brooklyn says, "When was the last time I've been as tickled as I am by practically everything someone says?" I loved them falling in love. I did kind of wonder if that's where we were going to stay, at this happy surface value. I would have been perfectly happy with that because I loved the way she was writing it, but I was pleasantly surprised that Xavier kept unfolding their story and we kept learning a little more about, in my opinion, we learn a little more about Axe and his background, his family, his life, what brought him to the job he currently did. We learned a lot about him and his soul. And I felt like I knew Brooklyn right away. But with Axe, I felt like Xavier gave us a little more and a little more and a little more about him as they were starting to fall in love. That's where I started sinking my teeth into their book. And I knew that we were going to get some really heartfelt, soul engaging, some really deep conversations and moments between them. And I love that. Axe is everything that I love about a hero in the story. He ticks all my boxes. I highlighted so much from his perspective. Well, I highlighted a lot of the book, let's be real. But there's one passage that I'd really like to share with you that I felt like, I just swooned so hard over it. Also, there's a little swearing, which doesn't bother me at all, but I don't want to say the words. I know sometimes I do, but some of the lighter swear words. So when Axe swears in this passage, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say the actual word, but you'll get my point. The water feels amazing and refreshing as it creeps up my somewhat sore calves that had forgotten how hard this shit was. Brooklyn leans her white one-piece cutout swimsuit covered frame backwards, and I immediately wrap an arm around her. Protectively, possessively. No matter how much I try to fight it, the instinct to go all barbaric and territorial continuously wins out. It's like my previously peaceful brain suddenly lacks the capability to be any other way when it comes to her. I've got to be holding her hand or have an arm around her waist or face buried in her pineapple-smelling hair. I've got to kiss her like I'm going off to fight in Aquaman's war every time she walks out the door, and her like I'm fresh out of an underwater prison where the only thing that got me through the days were thoughts of her. Part of me, the more logical part, knows that I've got to let go a bit, come up for air, remember that the sun doesn't rise and set by her. Yet, the other part of me, the follow your vibes because they never steer you wrong part, says F logic, that this shit is normal when you found your soulmate. Something that easily explains why I've never felt anything like this in my entire life. Oh my God. He just, whew. He did it for me, that's for sure. You'll notice that in that passage, Xavier writes, like when he talks about Aquaman, she infuses these little words and changes common phrases to more beach, surf, water-friendly sentences and phrases. I loved the lightness that her doing that brought to the story. I would love to hear if you have read Xavier Neal's other books. Let me know in the comments below. I'm so looking forward to reading more of them. As always, I invite you to come join my group on Facebook, which is called Cat's Romance Readers. It is a wonderful group, if I do say so myself, of readers, authors, bloggers, and you can also find me on Instagram and Facebook under Cat Reads Romance. Before you go, I would love for you to give the video a thumbs up and also subscribe. Doing that not only helps my channel, but it will also help this video get better visibility on YouTube. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you soon. Bye.